I mean, I'm sorry to ask this question, but the financial constraint for this journey must be crazy.
The money was no longer our biggest concern. The most important thing was give her a better chance at living a normal life.
So my wife and I took a thalassemia test a few months ago to find out whether we both had this rather common blood disorder. The thing is, both my mom and my sister have it, and so I gotta find out for myself. If you have thalassemia minor, it doesn't really affect you. Like my mom and sis, they're fine. But if both parents have thalassemia minor, there's a good chance that your child might have thalassemia major. And that might mean that the child might have to go through multiple blood transfusions and more just not long after they are born. And today I'm speaking to Melvin and Whitney to help us understand what they are going through while raising their daughter with thalassemia major. So hello Melvin and Whitney. Thank you very much for wanting to share your story with us. Please tell me what happened.
For us, our baby is actually a alpha thalassemia major. It's a lot of ups and downs that we experienced, I think, in the past close to 2 years already.
What happened to yours? Do you all know prior that you all had thalassemia minor?
For me, I found out during my NS time when I wanted to sign on Air Force. They did a full body check.
For me, actually, I didn't know that I have thalassemia until during my pregnancy around 25 weeks.
But your family members had also?
The strange thing is nobody in the family, at least for her side, right, ever said that they have thalassemia. Only after she found out she has thalassemia, then we started hearing more stories about, okay, maybe this relative has it. Maybe who has it? Someone has it in the family.
Were you able to tell if the baby had thalassemia major?
You didn't know that your baby will have thalassemia until they do all those invasive tests to find out the actual diagnosis and all that. I went through the most high risk test. It's called intrauterine blood aspiration and intrauterine blood transfusion at the same time. It's something like a very long needle that poked through your belly there, through the umbilical cord to aspirate out the baby blood. So to find out the actual diagnosis.
When you found out that the results came out positive, what were your options?
Either to go for palliative care, which is let the baby just be naturally born, and if it really doesn't survive, then we have to kind of accept it, or we have to choose to go for treatment, which is where all the very invasive kind of procedure, they describe to us that there will be needles, there will be a lot of equipment plugged into the baby the moment that he or she was born.
The moment your baby was delivered, then what happened?
One very critical moment that we felt was even the doctors and nurses in the room, they were all really the breath was just held there to hear whether she's breathing. Because first of all, she may not even survive the birth. Then when we heard her cry, I think that was a very, very relief moment for everyone in the room. The next moment that happened was that the baby was straight away just carried away. And they plugged in the ventilator for her with the equipment standby already.
So then the moment she was delivered, she was taken aside to be plugged in already, right? And then what happened?
Mm-hmm. So she was brought to NICU. Maybe I will think that they will think it's a miracle. They did come and told us it's a waste if you choose not to cure her, because we wanted to wait a few days and see how she goes, because her oxygen keep on dropping, but she still managed to pull through.
She's very strong lah.
The first sight you see your child given a lot of those things plugged into the nose, plugged into the mouth and all this, and there's a plug to drain out bleeding inside her stomach. It was a very tough sight, but the relief was that she is still keeping herself alive. She's also still fighting to survive and be strong. So that was the moment that was very deciding for me that, okay, at least what the doctors have always been talking to us is that at any one point you choose to want to change to treatment, we are there and we will immediately do the treatment for you. I think the doctor towards the 1 year mark was telling us that why not consider stem cell transplant for her. That could be a way that you can treat her completely, to not rely on blood transfusion lifelong. Other things that they had to do which may have long-term issue which we don't know yet, because she did chemotherapy at 1 year old, so it may affect her future birth rate, fertility, or those.
Do you say chemo?
Yeah, so Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Oh wow.
So at 1 year old, she had to undergo chemotherapy just to suppress her immune system
Mm.
before introducing the cell.
So how was she like while receiving this treatment?
When she was still a baby, she wasn't so aware
Like,
of what the doctors and nurses were doing. So when they had to draw blood, either from her feet or from
the
her
palm.
palm or from her hands, she allowed them. But I think close to about 4 to 5 months in, she started being aware. Although she's supposedly a weak baby, she actually fought back with the nurses by kicking or by just struggling with them when they were attempting to draw blood, which also became a concern for us because we were afraid that it left a stigma in her. In fact, even after 1.5 year, close to now 2 years old, only the last 1 month that she finally started letting us hold her hand, because I think she associated with holding hands as
Going to
being
injected.
pricked with the
Pain.
Right.
so we were very worried that she lost a sense of trust in people holding her hand. I think holding hand is a very normal part of her life. We also observed that she started having more major tantrums, which we are afraid that because of all these things that she's undergoing, and she's so young, she may not be able to process that feeling of pain or discomfort that she's going through, and it leads to her having long-term anger issues or sadness or things that she doesn't know how to express yet, and that may bring to a later part of her life.
Since the transplant of stem cells, right, has life with her has been rather normal already.
Some way or another, her having the experience allow our baby to still experience life
normal
as per normal. Like she wants to play with the water, she can, just that cannot go for swim. And anyway, now also cannot go swimming. So you really cannot tell that she's undergoing anything because she looks like any normal baby. She's able to run, walk, play as per normal. Inwardly, she has a tube in her chest. Some people do look at it when she wears a very thin clothes when we go outside. But they do not really ask. Even if they were to ask, I think it is just very normal for us to then share to them that, oh, she's undergoing a certain treatment. At any one point, I don't think we feel that she is any less normal. Maybe she is special a bit because of how she experienced different things.
What advice would you give to other couples out there?
I think first of all, do the thalassemia test if you can. And it doesn't mean that if you are tested, both of you have the similar thalassemia, that you cannot have a child. It's just that you must then come to a agreement with both your spouse and maybe even your family who may be involved in taking care of the child, that they are going to be willing to make some sacrifices to take care of the baby up to the point that they are really well treated, and also not have to blame anybody should there be some misfortunate things happening along the way. For couples who actually are having the same situation as us, being both the same thalassemia minor, do not despair, have hope, and really just trust that everything will get better, no matter how difficult a time that you are going through right now.
Good. Thank you very much. I do want to stress this. From what I've learned during my check, up to 20% of Singaporeans do have thalassemia minor, and those are just the ones that are registered, the ones that we know of. So if you're planning to start a family soon, then do get yourself and your partner checked. The test is not expensive. In case the unthinkable happens, right, at least you'll know what your options are. Thank you very much for watching. If you have an interesting story to share or something you've learned that you think the rest of us should know as well, then please go to the comment section. There's a link there. Submit your story, then hopefully we'll speak soon. Thanks for watching again.